introduction of myself is now in order. My name is Mrs. Abigail May, but you are more likely to have heard of my husband, the self-established young merchant, Mr. John May. No? Embarrassing. Well, we've been married for just about a year now, and dare I say, having a wealthy husband certainly has its perks. And it turns out the old saying is true. It was indeed just as easy to marry a rich man as a poor one. Well, I jest. My John lacks neither admiration nor adoration when it comes to me. Truly, our new life together has been nothing short of wonderful. The greatest gift to come from our marriage is our newborn son, Frederick. He turns 1 month old today, and I must say, he has had a most exciting 31 days of existence. Oh, it was less than 2 weeks after his birth, this body of the people met for the first time at Faneuil Hall to discuss the arrival of that cursed cargo aboard the ship Dartmouth. And here we are now, only 17 days on from that initial gathering, having had to relocate ourselves to Old South Meeting House in order to make enough room for the ever-growing number of spirited patriots in Boston. Oh, well, I do feel quite proud to count myself amongst all of you this evening. You see, I myself have recently become involved in the political scene through the dinner parties John and I host at our home in the North End. The most fascinating gossip does take place around our table. Well, my dear husband would certainly resent my calling him and his fellow patriots gossips, but if the shoe fits. All kidding aside, the conversation is so interesting, I often find myself personally invested in each subject, quietly debating the different points as they are made. And now that I have this opportunity to speak in front of you, well, I want my base belief to be known, which is that each of us deserves the right and the chance to be heard. Therefore, if there is something you find agreeable this evening, I want you to make it known. You could say, "Hear, hear."
Hear, hear.
Or, "Well said."
Well said.
Or you might stomp your feet or make some noise with your ears. And if you agree with your entire being, you must give your mightiest huzzah! Huzzah! My friends, we must not forget to plunge our fists into the heavens. Huzzah!
Huzzah!
Excellent. Now, if there is something you find disagreeable, you could say boo.
Boo.
Ooh, or give a more serpentine hiss. Or you might use the nastiest word we have here in the colonies, which is fie, F-I-E. Now this word has a very crude hand gesture to go along with it. I cannot believe I'm about to teach it to you, but stick out your thumb, place it against your nose, raise the flag, wave the flag, turn to whomever you wish to offend and yell, bye! I will make a mighty mob out of you yet. I do believe it's time to move on to the matter at hand, however. Please do join me in welcoming Mr. Samuel Adams. Huzzah!
Huzzah!
Well, good day to you all. I said good day to you all.
Good day.
More befitting. Now we are gathered here today to discuss yet another crisis forced upon us by Parliament, supposedly on behalf of our absent monarch, King George III.
Boo.
Now presently, out in Boston Harbor lie 3 vessels, the Eleanor, the Dartmouth, and the Brig Beaver. And their holds are fit to bursting with 340 crates of East India Company tea. Now, under the law, each of these vessels has been given but 20 days to unload their cargo and pay the duty or tax on tea. Tomorrow marks the 20th day for that ship Dartmouth, making this meeting of the body of the people all the more important. This is our final chance to effect these events in our favor. Now, earlier this day it was requested that ship owner Francis Roach obtain word from our esteemed royal governor, Thomas Hutchinson.
Bye, Thomas Hutchinson.
Bye indeed, for he is a man who has abandoned the cause of the people years ago, and yet he remains the only one capable of granting a pass to allow these vessels to return to England without landing their pernicious cargoes. Now, Mr. Roach did leave us several hours ago. We await his return and cling to the hope that our governor will listen to reason. For if that cargo is landed, we, the people of Boston, will be forced to pay this unjust tax on tea.
Boo.
Now, as we are all aware, this is not the first time Parliament has forced taxes upon us without our consent. It It was only 8 short years ago in 1765 that Lord Grenville saw fit to tax our letters, our newspapers, all of our printed documents under the Stamp Act. Now, many of us were outraged. Many of us took to the streets in protest. I am not the only one to be outspoken on this issue. It's that Thomas Porter I spy. What say you?
Parliament not only taxed our paper and ink, they even taxed our playing cards and dice.
Well said,
Well
Patriot.
said. And I'm certain it has nothing to do with their gambling habits, Mr. Porter. In response, we were told that these taxes were meant to repay our debt from the French and Indian War. Yet I say we have paid 1,000 times over. For was it not our fathers, our brothers, many of ourselves who fought alongside the King's army in that conflict? If there ever was a debt to be paid, we did so with our blood. Good New England blood.
Well said, Mr. Adams, well said.
A price we here in Boston know far too well, lest we forget the 5 innocent young men gunned down on King Street in March of 1770, massacred by the very soldiers sent here to protect our streets. Now, thanks to my cousin John Adams, those men were given a fair trial, and the entire responsible 29th Regiment was recalled back to England thereafter. But the recallment of one regiment is not enough. Dare I say nothing short of the total evacuation of our town of all of these bloody-backed troops. Now that will satisfy the public mind or preserve our peace. Our cries, loud valiant as they have been, are not heard by those in Parliament. After the repeal of the Stamp Act, at the behest of our King, those greedy ministers next saw fit to pinch our pewter candlesticks, our lead, our paint, our glass, tea, all taxed under a man who we once called a friend in Parliament. How wrong we were to trust in the good name of Charles Townshend.
By Charles Townsend.
Why, indeed. Now, Mr. Porter's anger has been echoed by others as well. Is that James Brewer I spy?
Aye.
Now, I heard your house needed new windows with this dreaded tax on glass. However could you pay for them, James?
I did not pay for them. I was forced to choose between new windows or putting food in my family's bellies.
Shame on Parliament!
Shame on Parliament.
Good.
Shame.
But James, no need to weep so openly. Dry your tears. Be strong for your family. In response to outrages such as these, merchants banded together. We signed non-importation agreements stating we would no longer buy or sell any of these unjustly taxed goods. And many of the women of Boston, our daughters of liberty, joined in with non-consumption agreements, promising these goods would never enter their patriot homes. It was only through our united efforts, our united resolves, that we forced many of these Townsend duties to be repealed.
Huzzah!
Alas, there appears to be an ever-growing hole in the purse of the English treasury, and now their greedy eyes have turned yet again to our tea. If Lord North wishes to enforce this 3 penny per pound tax on tea to signify the supremacy of Parliament in its supposed right to tax the colonies, why then we deserve the right to representation.
Hear, hear.
The Magna Carta of 1215, our very Charter of 1691. Now these are the foundations of our English liberties, and they make it clear no English subject can be taxed without the consent of their representatives. If they expect us to pay taxes as Englishmen, to go to war and fight like Englishmen, why then we deserve the same basic rights as Englishmen.
Hear, hear.
Let us all cling to those spirited words of James Otis Jr., which echoed from State House Square and rang throughout our beloved colony like a trumpet from heaven. Taxation without
Representation
is tyranny, and the time for petition or compromise is over. Huzzah!
Huzzah!
Adams, a message from Mr. Roach. The governor's word is in.
Thank you, Mrs. May. What we've been awaiting. The governor he's willing to grant anything consistent with the law and his duty to the king.
Yes.
But orders that the vessels cannot leave unless the cargo is unloaded as the law demands. What say we to this?
Boo!
There you have it. Our governor, the coward he is, refuses to send the tea back to England. He has refused every petition, every course or recourse toward an amicable solution. And he has forced our hand. The time has come for us, the people of Boston, to decide what to do with the tea. Hear, hear?
Hear, hear!
But first, let us get a lady's opinion. What say you, Mrs. May?
Well, I say perhaps salt water and tea will mix tonight. And what say all of you? Shall we destroy the tea?
Hear, hear!
Here!
Good.
Any opposed? None. Moving on. Well, it does appear we have a unified mob on our hands, but let me warn you all. If you destroy the king's tea tonight, you may be subject to arrest. Your families, all those who harbor you, may be subject to the fullest penalties of the law. We therefore must do our very best to conceal our identities this night.
And how shall we do that, Mr. Adams?
Well, cloaks, blankets will suffice. Let us also use a symbol known throughout the colonies, our unique symbol for North America. Fearsome, independent, that of the mighty Mohawk tribe. Oh, carry this symbol in your hearts, patriots, and rally. Huzzah!
Huzzah!
Boston Harbor, a teapot tonight.
Well, it is clear to me there is nothing more a meeting can do to save our country.
That is our signal. Rise up, gather your belongings, don your disguises. 2 griffins for huzzah! Right this way, patriots.
Well,
We have a
enjoy your
short
treason.
My friends, we cannot destroy the tea tonight aboard the brig Beaver. There are 112 chests of tea on board, so a very long night of learning is ahead of us. But I know that you all absolutely prepared.
Let me get a huzzah!
Huzzah!
Let me get a five!
The governor's word is in. He's told us we have to offload the tea, but I don't believe he specified off which side of the ship it needed to go.
Well, we seem very upset about it,
Oh,
so
yes.
we might as well make swift work. All aboard! Please watch your head and step. It's been snowing on and off today.
Absolutely seething with rage.